Yes,
The notes were helpful. Okay.
very helpful.
Okay. Awesome. Just I like to check in to make sure that it's still supportive so that we can make tweaks as we need as we go.
Yes, I feel I feel like everything's very supportive. Um, I will tell you, like, started thinking back. I remember I sold Mary Kay at one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I had these same kind of feelings, very inadequate, not sure I can do it. I had to
Okay.
come up with my, I had to come up with um what motivated me.
Yep.
And then I was very successful, like as far as what I considered successful.
Right. Which is all that matters. So you're noticing those same feelings of inadequacy are showing up. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
Interesting. They're here to be
yeah,
with again. Okay.
yeah.
I love
So,
that you're just acknowledging that as we're moving into our space because this is part of like our human experiences is things are going to keep coming up. So now at the who we are now can meet them in this new way.
yeah.
So I want to circle back. We'll begin kind of where we left off last week and check in on pieces, and then we'll kind of see where you are today.
Okay.
I wanted to see what you've been noticing, if any, like what changes you might have noticed with doing the Muse method, which is a new technique for you.
Well, I was kind of resistant towards it
Awesome. Say more.
because, well, I was resistant towards it because I've tried all of the breathing exercises, the box
Yeah.
breathing, the um um uh brain spotting,
Yeah.
just different things in my past. And I never I feel like I gave them a really good go, a really good chance. I didn't really feel like it did a lot for me. I'm realizing now it could have been some of my
Mm-hmm.
attitude because I didn't know what I was looking for. I just knew how I felt I wanted it gone and it wasn't leaving.
Mm.
And and so I was frustrated that I wasn't able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't excited when that's what we started with, but I decided when, it was over, I am going to give it 100% and I'm just going to go all in and be open. You know, I don't know everything. There's still things I need to know. And so I did try it and I wasn't consistent with it.
Cool.
But I did, I found the method I liked the most. Here, I'll do my camera down a little bit. Was the one I liked putting like my hand kind of underneath my armpits like this. That just felt like real soothing to me. When I did like this was good too. But
Okay.
I
So
liked
cool.
the skin contact and kind of the
Awesome.
warmth underneath,
Yeah.
my and right here on my chest. And I think I told you that in combination with some other things, I'm in a freedom group at church where
Right.
one of the things that they're teaching us is that, so much of the time we expect the Holy Spirit to work in our life. We expect God to work in our life, but
Mhm.
do we invite him in? So just inviting him in and
Okay.
then sitting in the emotion and asking the Holy Spirit to speak to you. So it was kind of like a combination. I was kind of combining all of it.
Okay.
And I definitely felt the presence of the Lord. I felt a calm and a peace. And um, when you said like open up your arms and like do the shaking, um it wasn't like I felt something get I don't know what in my mind, as you're describing it, I was thinking it's to get unstuck. So I'm thinking I'm going to feel something. I'm going to, like, and I didn't really feel anything, but I can
Mhm.
tell you something shifted. Like
Ooh,
within
okay.
like 2 or 3 days, I had a big shift. And I have to tell you, this is the last 2 weeks have been are normally a hard time for me
Yeah.
because there's two kind of anniversaries. The first one I don't celebrate, but my husband does. And the
Yeah.
second one, um, I haven't been able to celebrate for the last 3 years, but I was able to celebrate it this year. So
Hmm.
the first anniversary is it's been 4 years since my husband masturbated.
Hmm. Wow.
And I don't celebrate that because I feel like he should never have done that in the first place.
Okay.
But with his men in his group,
Yeah.
he said that he never thought he could go a whole day without doing it. So when he gets in these group with these men and they're all the same way,
Right.
that after a year of not doing it, like he was ecstatic he could go one day, and then he was ecstatic he could go 1 week. And so like I can celebrate this with you, but I can't celebrate it with him.
Perfect. I love that for you.
He went a month, then he
Yeah.
went 2 months, and then he went a whole year. So he
Yeah.
invited men over, and I cooked food and I left and let
Oh,
him, he had like a party with them
cool.
celebrating his sobriety.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So I say that, I mean, he's definitely in recovery, but he wants it. He really wants it. He's not anywhere doing like perfectly, like we're not there yet. This recovery is a huge roller coaster. And
Of
there's
course.
so many times I just want to be done because it's so hard and I
Hmm.
hate it. And it'd be easier. No, it wouldn't be easier to leave. It'd be just as hard. It's like choose your hard.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So that's the one anniversary. And so he had that, but I always feel it in my body when it's coming around.
Yes. Okay.
And then so the second one, and then I'll tell you how I feel like the shift happened. The second one had to do with hold on, let me think. Oh, well, it was 4 years ago on Tuesday, the 24th, that I that um it's the last time I caught him. So it was our last D day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had been he had been working really hard and he had gone a couple years in a men's group, um, meeting with the leader, not a coach, but the leader, helping lead the group. And I thought he was sober. He was telling me he was sober, but he was lying to me. And so 4 years ago on Tuesday was the last time I caught him. So that I can celebrate because the
Mm-hmm.
last 4 years I have just wanted him to leave during this time. I have, you
Yeah.
know, really been sad. But the mind shift that happened in my mind, I was looking to see if I wrote down exactly what it was. But what I felt was that see I couldn't see the work that he was doing. I just couldn't see it. I was just so upset
Mm-hmm.
that he even put us in this position, that he did this to me. It seemed all deliberate. He had so many opportunities. He knew before I married him that I wanted to wear white because I was pure, but why didn't he tell me? Like we talked a lot about that, how important that was. I knew he was a Christian. We met at a Christian college, like all these things. And so I've been like resentful towards him, but not just resentful towards him. I've been resentful towards myself. I've been upset that I didn't leave him and that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know to leave him.
Yeah. That
Probably more the second one, that I
that you
didn't
didn't.
know I could leave him.
Mm.
I would have been
Yeah.
ostracized from my family, my church. I
Yeah.
mean, the same thing has happened in staying with him. So,
Right.
but I would have had four little tiny kids I had to figure out what to do with.
Yes.
So, instead I stayed with him believing he was telling me the truth when he was still lying to me.
Yes.
So that's why this has been really hard. So how that ties in with my shaking and
With
I didn't feel anything necessarily happen at the time, but I went to bed that night and I woke up the next morning with like just this mind shift change that he is doing the work.
mm-hmm.
I can forgive myself.
Yeah.
I can be happy if I want to. I
Yeah.
have a joy I've never had before, and it's not anything to do with Dan. It's everything to do with my relationship with God.
Right.
And as I'm going through this mind shift, he's having this thing where he's resentful towards me.
I love that. Yes.
It's at the same time. So like I'm
Yeah.
I'm like happy and joyful and everything. And it's I don't know. I think he's thinking he's like going the opposite way.
Yeah.
And I just didn't let it bother me. I just kept going.
Whoa. Okay,
And
right
I
there.
mean, yeah,
You kept going. You didn't let it impact you,
no,
which is huge because in the past you would have, based on
yes,
what you've shared.
yeah,
So I hear you with not being consistent, but I do also want to acknowledge you in doing the practice to move the energy. Like in the moment, it may not have felt like anything shifted, but because you were with the emotion and you allowed it to be there without fixing it or changing it, just moving it through your body, something in you changed.
yes,
And you were able to allow that resistance, that resentment actually, to start to shift and move you to what you desire more of, more
yeah,
happiness, forgiveness to yourself. And with the Muse method, I'm going to come back to it because I know you said you tried it in the past and there was resistance here. Thank you for acknowledging the resistance, because the resistance is you being in connection with yourself. There's something there that's stopping you from wanting to be connected to yourself, and it's not wrong. You tried practices that might have been similar in the past, and they didn't seem like they were doing anything. And
yeah,
I'll tell you from my lived experience, it may not feel like this is doing anything in the moment, but what you're doing is you're saying, I matter so much that I'm going to connect to myself 3 times a day for 21 minutes a week, no matter what. Because you said God is very important. If you are a precious child of God, wouldn't He want you to be connected to the body He gifted you with?
hmm hmm
Does that resonate?
It does because in the past, I've always not been self-aware because my needs were important. And in this freedom class,
Right.
they're talking about those kind of things, but they're they're telling women this is the one thing. I mean, it's not wrong what they're telling women, but they're saying like it's okay for you to feel this way. It's
Yeah.
okay for you to not have emotions that you want to have, that you're struggling with. But it's a season and you will come out. And I just want to say, and it's okay to be in that season as long as you need to be in that season. Don't
Right.
force or push someone to be out of that season. And that's what I think happened to me. There was so much
Yeah.
unsaid
Mm.
forcing and pushing of you need to get over this. You need to be okay. You need
Yeah.
to have it together again. And I'm okay with not being okay now. I don't want to be
Yeah.
that way. I mean, it doesn't feel good, but I'm okay with it. And I want to give other women the permission and validation to take as long as it needs you to take. God is right there with you. He doesn't leave you. If he's not on looking at his time, watch.
No.
And yeah,
So you named that in the past, like when you were navigating this, you said your needs weren't important. So you had learned to abandon yourself and what your body was telling you.
Oh, yes, very much.
You had this unsaid force outside of you, forcing you, pushing you to get over it, to move on, to like, right, to continue to do what you're supposed to do as the good wife. So this relationship with your muse, that's what I call it. You can say God in you, my unique spirit expression. It might take time for it to get to know, for it to feel safe with fully expressing itself because it's been pressed down for most of your life and abandoned for most of your life. So you showing up consistently for yourself, like you freely do for everyone else, is really important, even if nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because what the practice is you're not fixing yourself, you're not changing yourself, you're being with whatever's here in you. You can ask God to be with you as you're doing the muse method, but what you're really doing is you're connecting with your unique self spirit expression. I'm going to use the words that resonate with you, your unique spirit expression, and expanding as far as feels safe, which you've had a lifetime of shrinking down and conforming and doing it the way everybody else said to do it.
Yes.
And not even giving yourself permission to leave something that was not healthy for you.
Yes.
So would you be willing to commit to connecting with yourself 3 times a day for 3 minutes a day? Because consistency is critical of having that time of connection.
Yes. I gave myself permission to, mainly because I didn't feel good, but also because I just wanted to see like how committed am I to doing this.
Yeah.
And I was pleased with how much I did it, but I
Yeah.
didn't do it consistently. But I did do it almost daily.
Okay, that's huge.
So
What did you notice in showing up for yourself almost daily?
that I hadn't done that my whole life. Like
Okay,
this is new. This
this
is
is new.
walking into new territory for me.
So it's just like a baby. When you learn to walk, you fall down a lot. So
Yep.
it's not about beating yourself up when you're not consistent. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going to do it again. And maybe right now, would it support you to have alarms or reminders to go off to do that in
Mm-hmm.
the morning, somewhere midday where you tend to lose yourself, and then some
Yep.
right before bed?
Yeah.
And all you're saying is, I'm going to be here for you always. I'm going to have your back because you've had everyone else's back and you've abandoned yourself for your whole life. And I'm not saying that's been the last few years. You've been reclaiming yourself.
So when, so I know I can look at my notes again, but
Yeah.
remind me. So when I sit with myself,
Mm-hmm.
am I supposed to focus on an emotion or
Nope. It's just being with whatever is present here right now. Let's do it right now just to play with it because
okay,
it's the heart of our practice because what we're doing is we're building a foundation inside of you that you are going to have your own back.
okay,
You're going to start to honor yourself more than you honor everyone else. And it's not saying you won't honor everyone else. It's saying you are the priority and you will give from that full cup that you are.
hmm,
So bring your hands wherever they feel good. And my invitation for you is do it the way that feels good in the moment, but then also give yourself permission to move them around like a precious child holding your face. Let your hands move around and you'll feel it almost like they kind of sink in. You're like, oh, that feels good. And this
okay.
might be it today. So that skin to skin contact. So let's go ahead, close our eyes, follow our breath, keep breathing into that inner fire of you, that inner spirit of you. And now we're going to just hold the intention. You're being with whatever's here, just like you would your very best friend. And now you're going to connect with what's here, not fixing it, changing it, and just expand as far as feels safe in your body, maybe even beyond your body. And let's just be here for the next minute. And you might notice things starting to arise from your body through emotions, sensations, visualizations, intuitions, just noticing. And if nothing comes up, that's beautiful. It's not about making something happen, it's just noticing. So now we'll be here for about a minute and I will be with you doing this practice. And I'll walk you back in about a minute and just notice what might be here or what wants your attention. And just take 2 more breaths here. And when you feel complete, you can just start to make your way back to the screen. And what did you notice in that minute today?
Well, I noticed that the first thing I noticed was I started to get upset that these are things that I haven't practiced my whole life. Why am I just now? And I
Yeah.
heard a voice say, it's okay, it's okay. And then I thought, we have a small group at church that I joined. It's called Bridging the Gap. We have a 3 mile bridge
Mm.
and we walk half of it. There's a group of about, I don't know, 10 to 15 of us, and we walk half of it. And so that's a mile and a half and then back. So 3 miles on Wednesday nights as the sun's setting. The weather's beautiful. We're watching dolphins on the other side of there was only one last night, but we're watching dolphins on the other side of on the water in the bay. And we get to know one another. And I was with two ladies, one that I kind of know, and then the other lady I didn't know at all. And I asked the one lady to share her story.
Yeah.
So the one lady didn't know at all. She shared her story, and the next lady shared her story. And then, I mean, we were on our way back and they turned to me and said, hey, you haven't told your story yet. And there was another couple there. And I wanted to say, well, let's let them share their story. But they kind of took off. And I know I shared my story, not about my husband, but I did about my strange children.
Yeah.
And I felt I used to share things because I needed to share them. I needed to process it. I did not feel the need to share, and I only shared what I felt comfortable sharing, but I shared because I felt freedom to share.
Yeah.
You have to feel safe
Wow.
to
Yes.
share.
Yes.
And so that's what it was, sitting there thinking. I was just thinking, I'm so thankful. I don't feel that rushing, that I just need
Mm.
to hurry up. I've got someone's attention, so I need to process it.
Yeah.
I felt more of a calm freedom that I don't have to tell them everything. I can just tell them a few things. And it brought out a beautiful conversation the rest
Yeah.
of the walk.
Right. Can I share what I heard you say?
Yeah.
That the Muse method, when you did it, it brought that feeling back from yesterday. And what I hear you with in this journey is not rushing yourself to like be with that unique spirit part of you, of this calm freedom of allowing it to arise when it feels safe and letting it come in its time. Does that resonate?
Yes. And I wonder if maybe I couldn't do that before because I never felt safe with myself.
Right. So how huge is
Light bulb.
right? You didn't feel safe with yourself before, and now you're starting to feel safe with yourself.
Right. Because I'm doing this.
Yeah. And I just want to acknowledge because you're like there was a frustration that also arose in you because you're like, why am I just learning this?
Yeah. That was the first thought.
Yeah. So even like, thank you for showing me because frustration, and we can keep bringing in emotions if you're wanting to.
Yeah.
So frustration is like a fire emotion. So I'm going to relate things to the elements so that you can notice when they're arising. So when the frustration arose, I'm hearing it might have arisen in you because it was like a boundary was crossed. You never felt safe in yourself. You never connected to yourself up until recently. And it's like, no, that's not okay. I need to be connected to myself. So thank you, fire, for rising up in you to say that's not okay. Does that land?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Yeah.
keep using your emotions, like the resentment you were naming, also fire. Like all of it here is it's kind of to create that invisible fire boundary around you of like saying, no way, that's not okay.
Okay.
Whether it's at yourself, being resentful of yourself or somebody else. But it's about using the energy rather than putting it out onto others and creating forest fires.
Yeah.
So it's just shifting that dynamic.
Okay.
And we'll bring more of this one in because I we're just touching on the frustration and resentful. We'll bring more in. Um, but I really just want to acknowledge this a new awareness that you never felt safe in yourself to connect to yourself before now.
Okay.
So I'm curious how it went with some of the coaching life work because we're also working on those pieces of like asking more questions in your everyday conversations.
I'm not doing it. I'm too afraid to do it.
Okay, so tell me more. Tell me more. Like, what's if
I
you could?
thought of it even last night as we were walking with those ladies,
Yeah.
and I couldn't, I just had a complete blank in my head.
Yep.
I mean, I could ask questions that, like, as long as they were like questions that just automatically came from me, but I would think, you can't do this in coaching.
What if you just allow those questions that come up, just like you were just saying?
I have been, but it's
So,
not practicing. You know what? I have Kim Gray's, you know how I
yes.
told you she did that? I have that in my head now. And I just think I can't ask the right questions. So I'm not going to think about that.
Yeah, that feels like a very limiting container.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like squeezing the life out of you.
Yeah.
So, what if you just allow yourself to ask questions like you did last night?
That's what I'm doing
Okay,
naturally.
so you're doing it. So, let's
Right.
celebrate the fact that you
But
are
I'm
doing it.
asking yes and no question.
We're starting somewhere. You're asking questions.
Okay.
Let's acknowledge what you are doing rather than
Okay.
what you're not doing. We're going to keep your awareness of what you are doing. So you are asking questions. And it sounds like when you want to ask bigger or deeper questions, that kind of like goes off almost and stops you and your mind goes blank. Is that true?
Yes. Every time. Like I sit there and I think, now what would be a good coaching question to ask? And I cannot think of one.
So I think just throw that out the door.
Okay.
Just asking yourself, what might I ask them? Just keep it very open.
Okay.
And rather than what coaching question, because it's almost like you're putting this pressure on yourself and you're
I
forcing
am.
yourself.
I can feel it.
I feel it when you're talking about it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of question might be more supportive for you to help start to formulate a question, not a coaching question? What could you ask yourself that could support you rather than the pressure?
What kind of question could I ask myself or like, uh,
Yeah, because you said it, you named that like you'll ask, okay, now what coaching question could I ask? And then your brain shut down, is what I heard you say. Is that true?
yeah, like we'll just be walking along and we'll just be talking naturally and asking each other questions and um like the one girl said she had been through a divorce and was remarried and her daughter who was estranged from her for a while um she just had a baby, her fourth baby,
Yeah.
and um she's also been a full-time student. She just finished and I asked, naturally, well, what did she finish? What was her major? And she said, um, counseling, coaching, therapy, like that's what she's into. And so I thought, oh, well, I should ask her like some questions about that. I couldn't think of one question to ask her other than
Right.
like, what's she going to do with it or something like that. But
Perfect.
then as like they're each telling their story and they've both been divorced, the and how it's affected their children and everything, um, I couldn't think of questions to ask.
Yeah. So what if you just were present and you were just receiving
I
them,
was very present. Yeah.
which is also part of a skill of coaching, of the active listening. So what I'm hearing is you were practicing your active listening skills and there was an internal pressure of asking the right question that almost cleaned the slate.
I do put a lot of pressure on myself to come up with the right questions to ask. I think in
Okay.
my mind, it's not just questions, it's the right question.
Right. So what if we just set that down? So when you notice it might not even like your brain may not even say the right question, but it might just be the anything related to it. So how does it sound? How does it feel for you if you were to say something like, show me a question to ask? Like just keeping it more open and playful and curious. How does that feel?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
Okay. So that is a beautiful way to start to ask God for things. Show me. Show me blank. Show me a question I could bring in. Show me. And then waiting for the answer to come. Not pressuring yourself to get the right question, of just saying, show me. If there's a question to ask, show me. And it might just start to open up space. I'm not saying it's going to come right away. There's something here with the pressure that you are learning how to meet, to not be so forceful with yourself. So I'm wondering, I'm going to go into like some of the other things we talked about. Are you asking yourself questions out loud more? Just in your everyday life, just asking yourself questions to get more comfortable with questions. Cool.
No, I haven't been.
Okay. Awesome. What could that create for you if you started to ask yourself more questions when there's no pressure?
Okay. I think that would be a good thing.
So it would be a good thing. Is there anything you could think it might create for you?
Well, I think it would create ideas of what other people would want to be asked.
Okay. So it could create some ideas and it could, what I'm also hearing, you didn't say this, but it also could create a little bit more calmness in you to just be more free with asking questions.
Yes.
Right now, there's a lot of fear around it of doing it right, and there's pressure around it. So, I mean, if you hold your hand like a fist, like there's nothing, your brain can't open up to anything because it's like, I got to get it right. It's like, well, I got nothing for you. So we're kind of like slowly releasing that release valve on the pressure cooker of like, okay, we don't have to get it right. We're just going to start with some questions, just some basic questions for myself right now. And what you're doing is you're starting to give yourself more comfort with asking questions. And then would you be willing to look for where you do ask questions with ease? Where in your life do you already ask questions with ease? I'm curious. Is there anywhere right now that you're already doing that?
Where I ask myself questions?
Yourself or somebody outside of you? Is there anywhere in your life?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with everyone I'm with.
Okay. So it is happening already. So,
Yeah, but it's not I mean, yes, asking questions isn't the problem. It's asking, it's not even asking the right question. And I just want to define that for you. When I say asking the right question, I mean thinking of something. I lose my thoughts so easily
yes.
that that's why I look off to the side or I close my eyes, because if I look down at my phone or at my notes or anything, my fingernail polish is chipped, something like that,
Yeah.
I can't come back to,
Perfect.
and I sit there and I struggle, like even now, like I struggle with like getting back to what it is we're talking about. So when I say asking the right question, I mean there's nothing in my mind at the time to even ask about it. And I'm trying to remember something about them that I can ask them. And so like even when I see people, I specifically say their names to them again so that and this is like brain work I've been doing for
Yes.
myself.
Right.
Yeah. And I try to uh, do
Oh,
cognitive type uh, things with myself to help me. And
perfect.
and I've come a long way
Right.
in almost, well, it'll be 4 years in June,
Yeah.
you know, because I will tell you a year ago, I mean, my kids can tell you I couldn't even come up with like questions to ask them. I couldn't do it. It's not, that's why I'm saying it's not like just an excuse,
No, it's not an excuse.
but I felt
Oh, yeah.
like um, you know, and I'm not trying to put Kim down in any way. She was wonderful, but I felt like I said it too many times because I didn't feel like she was listening to me, and then it appeared as though it was an excuse. So I just dropped it and didn't say it anymore.
Right.
Um, but it has been like a disability for me.
And
And I
it,
haven't allowed it to be. I've minimized my own issues. And it's just now that I'm saying, no, like this is a legitimate thing.
yes,
Let's get over it. And you can't get over it until you actually see it for what it is.
right. And if you're trying to get over it, you're making it wrong. Is that true? Like there's a sense
Yes,
of you're like, this is wrong, something's wrong with me, I have to fix it or whatever.
right.
And what if it's not anything wrong with you and it's not something to be fixed? What if it is here because it's opening up a new space for different questions than you've ever asked before?
Yeah, I think that's why I listen to books, read books, podcasts, information all day, every day,
Yep,
because the more I fill in, then I have some memory when I need it.
correct. Okay, cool. And what
But
if
I overdo it.
that's what I was just curious about? I was like, I'm wondering if there's too much and it's on overload now.
Yeah, it has been for a long time. And but my husband tried to say not that I do it too much. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is what I feel like I need.
And what is it
Have felt
creating?
that I needed.
Right. And what is it creating for you? You said it's helping with memory. What else?
It gives me some confidence
Confidence. Okay.
and security. And
Okay.
I like knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
I'm learning things that I didn't know before because I realized I grew up in a little bubble,
Yep.
and I now have expanded that, broken out of the bubble.
Yep.
So it's given me a lot, and especially so like he and I are writing this relational agreement. I told you about that, didn't I?
Think so. Yes. Last week or last time.
And it it has really helped me to know what I need for the relational agreement.
Okay. Would you be willing to set some of it down? Because what I'm also hearing is if you're filling up with all of this external, I'm going to call it noise, there's not a lot of space for your spirit to speak to you.
Yes.
So, what if you're being invited to create more confidence in yourself, more security and safety in yourself? And the more you fill up with stuff outside of you, it's not actually helping. Like it is and it isn't. It's a both and.
Yes. I haven't felt ready for that yet. Um, but I can try and see if I'm ready.
Well, what if it's just a simple practice of before you go to listen to an audiobook, before you go to listen to a podcast, you do the Muse method. So rather than just getting rid of it, I don't want to make this a trying practice. It's about you creating more space for yourself.
Well, okay, so let me like when I do this, it's like when I'm putting my makeup on in the morning so that I have something going, so I'm not just sitting with silence.
Right.
It's and or it's like when I do this exercise study I'm doing, I
Yeah.
have to do the bike for 30 minutes or the elliptical for 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm listening to something as I'm doing it. I actually have found I retain more when I'm exercising and listening to something at the same time. Or when I'm in the car, so it's not just dead, no,
Right.
no noise. I'm listening to it then. So that's why I say it's constant, it's every day. It's not like I'm getting up and just like taking notes and listening.
Right. But it could be simple of like before you start driving, before you turn anything on, you do the Muse method even for 10 seconds or 30 seconds and you just
Okay.
connect with your spirit before
Okay.
you put makeup on. Because there's something here, what I'm hearing in you, and tell me if I'm wrong. There's some discomfort in the silence. Is that
Yeah.
true? So by,
The grief comes when I'm silent.
oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
Because what if the grief is trying to come out and you keep suppressing it through listening to other things?
it could be.
So, does this practice resonate of even just starting with the Muse method? And I'm not saying with your workouts, it's more of like before you do the makeup, before you start driving, because you got to be able to have your eyes open if you're driving. So, before you start driving,
Yeah.
um, and just starting to incorporate this connection with your spirit
Okay.
because I'm sensing that this grief is here because it wants to come out. And if you press it down or you kind of cover it up with external noise, it might start to show up in different ways in your body through kidney stones, which our kidneys filter stuff out our body and they can't filter. So it's like your pipes are clogged, so to
Yeah.
speak. And that's what happens with grief is if it's not experienced, if it's not felt,
Hmm.
it solidifies.
Yeah. And I have a bad habit of when that happens, eating comfort food.
Awesome. So maybe when you're noticing it before you eat the comfort food, you do the Muse method and ask, what do I need?
Okay.
Because that's a way of coping. That's your way of trying to support yourself. But I'm wondering, is it working for like is it supporting you?
No,
Okay.
it just feels good in the moment.
Right. So it gives you an instant gratification, but
Yes.
it doesn't actually go towards your longer term goals.
No.
So would you be willing to start to show up for yourself when the grief is there before you choose the comfort? And you may choose the comfort some days. Other days, you may say, you ask yourself the question out loud, always out loud, because that's how spirit moves. That's how God moves, is when he hears our voice. Because what it also does is it impacts you 3 times more. You hear it, your body feels it, and it's like, oh my God, she really wants to be here for me now. So, what would support me? What do I need? And that way you can start to give the grief some space. And if you choose the comfort, okay, cool, I chose the comfort. Notice how that makes you feel after. It's not about making it wrong.
Okay.
And we'll just keep being with it. And then what would feel good for you for to move your business forward this week? Because you did the business card. You're going to start asking yourself more questions out
Did
loud.
I do enough? Yes.
Um, well, for right now, I mean, if you have social media, that would be the other piece you could add to yours.
Okay.
I don't know if you have social media.
I have a Facebook page.
So you could definitely link it to your Facebook page. I'm pulling up your card just so I can look at it real time. Because you have your kind of line, you're from devastation to steady ground, guiding women to rebuild safety and courageous hope. So adding your social media, um, and if you wanted to, you could add a place for them to send you payments, like if somebody were to work with you. So if you have a Venmo account or a PayPal account, just something simple. I don't want to make it hard right now. We want to keep it, you're moving forward. That's it. So just small baby steps. Is that something that feels feasible?
Yes, I thought about that.
Okay. Was there
So
other
you
things that
said
you thought?
link these to your business card, not to your Facebook.
No, no, no. Link your business, put on the business card, include a link for your social media, for your Facebook.
Okay.
So there's a way to add the different social media accounts like Facebook, and then it's going to ask you for your link. So add your social media and then add a payment option,
And this is all on my business card.
all on your business card.
Okay.
So like mine has, there's a link. Find me on Facebook, pay via Venmo,
Yeah.
via PayPal. So like there's a way to do that where you literally just have to edit your card and then it'll give you the option.
Okay. I
So
saw it.
okay. So add your Facebook profile and then add a payment option.
Okay.
Will be the basics. You could add a calendar invite, but if that feels too much, you tell me. I want to check in with you.
Add a calendar invite.
Yes.
I
So
think I can do that.
so like Calendly, if you're
Yeah.
open to it, they have a free version. You don't have to pay anything for it. And you can set up a discovery session, a free 30-minute session. And then you just have to fill in your availability of the days that you would be open to do that. And then it will give you an option to share that link. And then you can put schedule discovery session with me.
Okay.
And when would you like to do this by? Of adding your social profile, adding a payment option or two, and then scheduling, getting your Calendly set up.
Um, well, last time I did it for you, um, why don't we say by, what would that be? This would be like Sunday, March, 8th? Is that right?
Sunday before we meet again. So we would meet again on the 12th.
Yeah.
So by 3/8, you'll send me your updated business card. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you need support between now and then, you let me know. Reach out. That way you can kind of keep moving forward. And
Okay.
then what what action would you like to take in addition to, if anything, in addition to asking yourself more questions out loud, asking yourself every day more questions? What else would you like to do in regards to getting more comfortable with questions?
Well, I have no clue, but something.
Do you want to brainstorm some ideas?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some ideas or what have you tried in the past?
As far as what?
With questions, what have you tried to start to learn more questions or get more comfortable with questions?
Oh, I just did what we were told in class, and that was just to read over the questions every day.
Okay.
I tried doing that because I'm doing better with rote memory.
Okay.
I know it's not ideal. It's not thinking up the question, but it helps me. And if I can feel comfortable in a situation with things that maybe are rote in my head,
Yeah.
then like every once in a while it just taps into and it naturally will start to flow.
Okay. So would you be, how does that sound to keep doing that?
To read questions?
Yes.
Where would I find questions?
So outside of like the ones that you've already been given,
Yeah.
there's books on questions. So like you could go to your library and look for like question books. You can do a Google search or Chat GPT and just search. And you could, if you want to be more specific, coaching questions
Mm-hmm.
and see what it comes up with.
Okay. Okay.
And what does that feel supportive to take those action steps to either keep going through your existing questions and practicing from the rote memory and maybe doing some searches or looking for other books that you could potentially start to gather.
Yeah. Your friend, is her name Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave me, she had like in a Excel spreadsheet her questions that she uses and kind of how she flows. I
Yeah.
probably need to get that back out.
Ooh, okay. What if you start there this week as you get that back out and you start playing with those questions?
Yeah.
Because yeah, go ahead.
Well, so I was doing that, and then I think I told you Kim said to me that I was asking questions that were in like the advanced, and I was supposed to be asking the base questions. So I put it away because I was afraid I would ask the wrong questions again.
So what if you are more advanced and Kim was trying to dumb you down?
I don't think so, but
What
maybe.
if? What
What
if?
if?
Because did those questions seem to resonate with you more than the basic ones?
Yes, and um, I don't know. I just really connected with Jessica very easily.
Okay, so what if you just focus on that for now? Because there's a sense of ease and almost like a joy and playfulness that when you talked about that, I didn't feel that same amount of pressure.
Yeah. No, she told me about it one day, and then I think I told you we were supposed to, I thought, I think I can do this. And she said, yes, and we'll practice coach. I will let you know later. I'll send you
Yeah,
something and we'll set it up. And her mom was there. We never
yeah,
got it set up. And I think a
right.
week or two went by and I went, were we going to set up that time? And she says, oh, I'm so sorry. She also wanted to contact the school because I guess she got paid for it. I had tried to contact the school, WCI, to see if I could get someone who could
Yeah,
help me with that, but I just never got
yeah,
a return.
right.
So anyway,
So what if we just start, rather than even looking on Google or anything else, what if you just start with those questions and just start getting that back out
okay,
and start practicing some of those questions?
okay,
Because the sense I continue to get from you, Karen, is there is a depth because of what you've navigated in your journey that you actually do even better in. But because there was like, you have to keep it basic, you have to keep it, then there's this pressure of you're not doing it right. And what if this is, you're finding your way right now?
yeah,
So go with what lights you up. Like that's what we're focused on. Does this bring me joy? Does this light me up? Do I feel expansive here? Because that's what we're going to keep moving you towards is where you feel expansive, where you get to be all of you.
okay,
And it might just take a little bit of time because you've had a lifetime of trying to fit into the boxes everybody else put around you.
yes. I'm slowly breaking out.
Yeah. And sometimes we keep ourselves in these self made prisons, not consciously.
Yeah,
So it's just when you're noticing that sense of pressure, do the Muse method. Like you might be like next week, next time we meet, you're like, oh my God, I did it so many times. I did it like 5 times a day. I'm like, yes, you connected to yourself 5 times a day, even if it's not for a minute every time. But what if you just set this baseline of I'm going to connect with myself no matter what 3 times a day? Because now you're building a foundation of I trust myself enough to have my own back.
Yeah.
And then starting to add in a little less noise and a little more connection. It's
Okay.
not saying you won't do that. It's just saying, before you put the book on, before you drive, you connect. Or before you feel that grief kind of coming up and you're going to turn to the comfort food. You do the Muse method and ask, what would support me now? What do I need?
Okay.
And just start to see what shows up. Because have you been like working on pleasing everybody in your life for your whole life? Are you are you open to something with that?
I am, I think.
Okay. Well, and we've been taught people pleasing is a good thing, right? What did it do for you by people pleasing?
Um, it didn't allow me to be me.
Oh, cool. So it didn't allow you to be you.
Uh-uh.
It made what did it do instead?
I had to make everyone else happy. And not just make them happy. I always felt like I had to fix it too.
Ah, so you have to make them happy and fix it. That's a lot. So making everyone else happy and fixing their problems. And then who are you if you're not making them happy or fixing their problems?
I'm not enough.
Right. And
I'm
you're
only
not,
enough if I can make everyone happy and fix their problems.
yeah. And that's a big pressure. And then you're not enough.
Yeah.
So what if people pleasing is like the highest form of an energy vampire? Like I'm not happy or I'm not fulfilled unless they're happy and I fix their problems. Does that resonate?
Are you asking me a question?
Well, what could it be that that people pleasing is could be a form of like an energy vampire?
Well, it definitely robs me of ever asking myself, what do I need?
Right. So it's literally taking your life force, your vital life force, because you don't know what you need anymore.
And you only have so much capacity.
Right. Right. If you're working so diligently to make everyone else happy and fix their problems, what's left for you?
Scraps.
Scraps. You're giving yourself the crumbs and you're like, I want more than the crumbs. So you haven't been choosing that. And it's a lifelong kind of journey to not siphon off of that others anymore, to start to fill up with more of you.
Mhm.
So this is you starting to learn to honor your body's yeses and nos. And I know we're right at time, and I was like, there's still so much more here.
I know. I was just thinking when you said that, that's probably why my sister doesn't call me and my mom doesn't call me because I'm not filling them up anymore. I'm I'm doing me and
Ah,
yeah,
can we celebrate you doing you and honoring you?
yes.
And they're not going to like it because they were feeding off of you before.
Mhm.
There is that relationship there where you're feeding off of them to make them happy because now you feel like you're enough before, not now, because you made them happy and you fixed their problems. But now you're not doing that. So
Right.
they're like, wait, you used to fix all my problems and make me happy. They don't want to have to do that themselves. So good job choosing you.
Yeah. I still have parts of me that, you know, it's still a work in progress, but
Awesome.
I have made the decision that I'm not going back there.
Right.
And so they look at me as I've fallen off the deep end or whatever. Yeah.
You have. You have. So did Jesus. So did Jesus.
Yeah.
So looking for, because this is regarding, because you said it's still happening in certain areas of your life. Are you willing to start to look for where you do easily or not, but where you do honor yourself?
Yes, I can do that.
So this is all part of us supporting you in your business, building more confidence in your business, because the more you're honoring yourself and you are filled with self, you trust yourself more. You're more
Hmm.
confident in yourself, which is going to ripple into your business.
Right.
So, and maybe just making note, if you journal at all, like, where do I have ease in honoring myself?
Yes.
And that way you're continuing to bring your awareness to that, because wherever your awareness is, it grows. And then look for where you're not honoring yourself. So both of those things. And if you could reflect on that and just capture some of those notes so that we can see.
Okay.
So we're honoring and we're not honoring. And then just noticing what's happening when you do the Muse method. If you can just do a bullet point list of whatever shows up, that would be awesome.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're building evidence of what happens when you are connected to yourself, because your brain needs evidence.
I'll have a piece of paper by me when I do that from now on.
Okay. And if you don't do it every time, it's just like you do it, you catch it once a day or twice a day. Awesome. It's not about perfection. It's about just trying to like celebrate and acknowledge what is showing up when you give yourself that space.
Well, yeah.
And
Hmm.
like, even if it's like you notice when you do the Muse method before comfort eating, you don't eat as much. Whatever it is. I don't want to
Okay.
limit you.
Okay.
And because would you agree, the most important person to trust right now is yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to keep working on, is helping you to discern, to trust yourself more.
Yep.
Because most of us give our trust away and then wonder why others betray us.
Yeah.
But it's
Exactly.
because we betrayed ourselves first.
Yeah. Hmm.
So what awarenesses are you walking away with?
Um, just again, the fact that I have everything inside of me. I don't know why I keep losing those thoughts, but I have everything inside of me to do this. And um I'm excited to come up with a list of questions that I feel comfortable with that and um I'm going to um, I want to be consistent with the muse because I think the more aware I am with myself, the more um, I will come up with the questions naturally and not try to force it to come up with something.
Right.
And I mean, I have great thoughts that come to me. There's a girl that shared in this freedom class that she just got, she's at the very beginning stages of a divorce. She's only 35 and she got married at 30. She's
Yeah.
got a couple small children. So I even thought, and she said she has a coach. And I spoke up in the group and said, that is so great that you are taking care of you. And you
Yeah.
went and got yourself a coach. And I saw her just sit a little taller just by praising her. And I
Right.
thought, if there's ever the opportunity, she's someone that maybe I could tell her that I'm just getting into coaching. Would she allow me to do some practice coaching on her? Um,
Yeah.
and if she didn't feel like it was helpful, we wouldn't have to do anymore. But sometimes just she's having a lot of issues because she doesn't have support from anyone else. She
Right.
feels alone. And I thought maybe I could be that person because I'm in her group that could support her.
And I
And
want to acknowledge what you just said. When she was celebrated for choosing her, she lit up. So, how might you do that for yourself? Because as soon as you started to go into the question, why can't I come up with the question? You beat yourself up.
I know.
So, oh, cool. I
I
can't
don't,
come up with a question right now.
yeah,
Can I just be with that?
that just really bothers me.
Right. So, what if anytime that thought comes up or that whatever it is, if you're with people, get out of their energy. You might need to get out of their energy and go do the muse method because what you're doing is you're disrupting the pattern of beating yourself up and pressuring yourself and forcing yourself. You does a plant do well if it's got a toxic environment? So we've got to, it's starting to nurture that environment and saying, oh, there's that question again. I'm going to do the muse method. I love you. Just to start to soften it. Because that's what
Hmm.
we're working on is softening that pressure, that forcing.
Okay.
Does that land?
Hmm.
Do it when you remember. It's
Okay.
not about perfection. It's when you remember. Even if you only remember once between this session and the next session, I freaking remembered once to do it when the question came up of why I don't remember a question.
Yeah.
That's awesome because now you're there for yourself and you have your own back.
Okay.
So, was our session today supportive for you?
Yes, very much so. Because
Did
I
you?
feel like I have a business plan and
Okay.
I'm gonna keep moving my business forward, which is what I really need to do. But you're also helping me gain confidence because I I start to do really, really well. And then I start thinking, I don't think I can do this. And I find myself just wanting to give up.
Yeah. Cool. Because it feels easier to give up than to push yourself in this unknown space. So, that's just information. That's not wrong.
Okay.
It's here because it's like it's kind of like the fear. It's here to breathe new life into you. You're like, yeah, I could just give up, but is that really what I want? Like literally starting to ask yourself these questions and have conversations with your unique spirit expression and say, is that really what I want?
Maybe it'll keep me from feeling exhausted too, because a lot of times I just don't want to think about it because I just am already exhausted just the thought of doing the coaching thing. I think I just put so much pressure on myself. I'm just exhausted before I can even start to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting all this pressure on yourself, how can you breathe? Can you breathe when you're putting all that pressure on yourself?
You can't. And you know, it's weird because I'm not putting pressure on myself, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why aren't I putting pressure on myself? Like why, like if I would just pressure myself, I could do it.
Has that worked for you ever before?
Well, it has actually. And was I happy doing it? No, but I was praised for doing it. See, I liked
But
the people
that was
pleasing part.
outside of you.
Right.
You internally did not feel good
No,
about it.
no,
So
no.
now that's your evidence of when I
Right.
put pressure on myself, when your brain starts to go into the why you aren't putting more pressure on yourself, be like, because when I did it before, I did not feel good. It did not support me. So when you can interrupt your brain and have those conversations, Karen, I'm going to tell you, I probably look like a crazy person. I'm a deeply connected person because I interrupt my brain and I don't let it take over. And I say, I love you, brain. That didn't work for me before. Give it the evidence it needs. Look for what does light me up. Where do I thrive? When I'm in the group container in my group sessions, when I'm out walking the bridge with the other women, when I'm fill in the blank. And that's when you get to be all of you.
I do that and I speak truth into my soul.
Perfect. Keep doing it.
Okay.
Keep doing it, and we're going to keep amplifying it. Because,
Keep doing it and listen next time.
well, you are, but you're building trust with yourself, and your brain has has learned to do all the thinking, and that doesn't work.
What do you mean by that?
Your brain has like you've learned to pressure yourself in the back of your mind. There's something going on that's pressuring you that literally eats up all of your energy.
Yes.
And when you want to take
What is
action,
that?
that's your subconscious mind.
I know, but why am I doing that?
What else is possible? So when you notice, why am I doing that? What else is possible? It's you have been, we all have been programmed to limit ourselves and walk around this world with blinders on because we think we come so much from our brain. Our brain is here to work for us, but we have to learn to listen to our body because now we have access to 360 degrees of information as opposed to this. So rather than why, what else is possible? Because your brain is going to look for whatever you give it. So right now, what your brain looks for is why don't I pressure myself more? Why don't, that's what your brain is programmed to do because of how you grew up and what you've learned over the last however many years. So
So
now,
can I give you an example and you explain it
sure.
to me that way?
Yeah.
So an example of that would be like um when when we were first our whole marriage, but especially when we were first married, um my husband uh doesn't I don't know if he just doesn't like the way I cook or what, but he would complain at every meal. And I
Okay.
noticed his dad did this too,
Perfect.
and his mom was frustrated all the time. And
Uh-huh.
so, like, we had just come back from our honeymoon, and I was making food, and I bought this little can of Dinty Moore beef stew. And it was such a small little can. I did some biscuits, and I thought, I need to add something to this to make it more. It doesn't look like it's enough for us. So I read on the side, it said you could add vegetables, corn,
Yeah.
peas, whatever. My husband loves corn. I thought I'll add corn. So I made it and everything. And he came and sat down and looked at it and said, I don't eat corn and stuff. He wouldn't eat it. He refused.
Cool.
I,
That's
I
what
think he threw it away,
cool.
and it hurt my feelings so much.
Right.
So all through the years, I don't cook unless I ask him what he wants before I cook because I
Yes.
fear he's going to throw it away and I'm going to. And so he and I just talked about this the other night because we're writing this relational agreement. I said, I want something about the way I cook in there where there's no more like a silent uh, or quiet disappointment in what I make. Because he's gotten better, he's not as vocal because I wouldn't allow my kids to do that at
Right.
the table. I wasn't allowed to do that growing up. We ate what we were served
Yep.
and we couldn't complain. And he was a lot, I mean, he saw it in action. His dad complained every meal.
Right.
And
But could it have also been that he was amplifying what you desired of being able to speak your truth? I'm not saying it was done wrong. I'm not saying that. But could there be part of you that's like, dang it, I want to be able to say what I want? I don't know.
well, yeah, and I did, but I got shut down.
Right. But still, you've learned to be shut down. But I also got the sense that you're throwing yourself away. Like you're not allowing yourself to be fully
I
you.
don't cook. Yeah, and I told him
Right.
my solution was I'm not we don't have kids anymore. I'm not cooking for you. You can fix your own meals if you
Right.
don't like what I
Awesome.
fix.
Perfect. So, what if that is a perfect example of you've learned your entire lifetime of throwing yourself away, of being shut down? So, unconsciously, that the back part of your brain shuts you down the moment you start to move forward.
Yes.
It's not wrong, but it's you starting to say, I love you, brain, but this isn't working anymore. We're going to try something new. We're going to
Hmm.
start to listen to my body. It's going to resist it at all costs. I will tell
Okay.
you, I know this from my personal experience. My brain
Okay.
was like, no, but I know the answer. No, you don't. Mm-mm. I love you. We're going to look for what it is I do want,
Okay.
what I do love. Where do I light up? Like, can you look for that this week? What do you love?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it seems simple, but you've forgotten what you love because you put so many other people above yourself in
I
the way.
can't be decisive because I can't figure out what I love.
Well, after a lifetime of being shut down, of course.
Yeah.
So you starting to turn towards what you do love and what lights you up is a big step. So
Yeah.
even if it's a little bit this then over the next 2 weeks that you just start to look for what you love and you start to say
Mhm.
yes to it,
Okay.
you're starting to be in connection with what it is so that you can be more decisive. So
Okay.
you can trust yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Well,
That gets me excited. That gets
awesome.
me lit up.
Yay. Let's do it.
Okay.
So asking and doing what you love. So I'll try to
Okay.
remember all of this. And even if it's like when you're like, you ask, you're like, what would I love to do today or right now? And you're like, I want to go paint. Go do it. Like whatever it is, go do it. Honor whatever it is that shows up.
Okay.
And like that's within your control, of course.
Right.
All right. So then we are on
Okay.
for what's the date? The 12th?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I got you down for 12:30 on the 12th. And then feel free to check in with me. I offer support in between sessions.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, so you can text me. Would you like me? Are you open or would you like me to check in with you next Thursday to see how you're doing with
Sure.
consistent checking in?
Yes. And I'm sorry about this past Thursday. I
You're good.
had I was so excited because the last girl I will tell you that I had for the short amount of time, she told me she wanted me to do that, but then I don't think that's what she really meant.
Okay, I'm not her.
I
And
know. Well, that's
people
what I'm
are
having to figure out. Yeah.
right because you're starting to trust yourself and it's scary.
Okay.
So you celebrating of like even, over the weekend, oh my God, I've been doing the Muse method every day and I've noticed that I'm starting to discover what I love more of.
Okay.
It just well,
So I can text you. You don't have a problem with that.
you can
Okay.
text me. It does I will respond usually within 24 hours.
That's fine.
Unless I sense that it's
Me
urgent
too.
and
Yeah.
I will, but
Okay.
I'll put on my calendar to check in with you next Thursday during our normal session time and just see how you're doing. And
Okay.
Kara, I'm going to remind you of this. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to just check in. How's it working? How's it not working?
Just say that to me every time.
Right, because you automatically go there. I want to see how is it going with being consistent? How's it not going with being consistent? What are you noticing either way? Neither way is wrong. It's
Okay.
information. So
Okay.
that we can start to shift that. So, and then I look forward to seeing your business card by the 8th with those few updates.
Okay.
And
I'll
then
do it.
keep going with the questions.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. I will see you then, and I'll follow up with the notes and the session.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right. You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.